Hello, and welcome everyone. The name is Kahenkio, the game's Pokemon Duel. Let's just jump straight into this battle. I decided to raise a little bit of my rating. It's with the player Platinum on the field. He's using a really serious double hurdle jump deck. So he's baiting my Zapdos. This is a recording, by the way. This is not a live battle. I just wanted to showcase you a little bit of my thought process. And that it's not always the lack of the roll. It's just the placement of your Pokemon that actually matter. So, what I decided here is to counter his Greninja that is going to be hurdle jumping around my Greninja. And then, since I already checking the cards right here, I know that he's going to be going to the right. Which I know that I can counter with my Zapdos' Gold Block. Because if I do the Gold Block right there, I threaten him afterwards with an entry by my Pokemon, because he's going to probably want to deploy something to block my Greninja, because my Greninja can go to his entry point and win. He's probably wanting to block that first, and then move his Greninja away, which gives me enough time to deploy one more Pokemon to that one right side. Which is great, because I have my Sceptile, I already know what I'm going to do, and if this is not going to be the move that I want him to put it on my entry point, the Greninja is going to get surrounded. If he does that, I advance with my Sceptile, and having any Pokemon on that specific one right there where the Sceptile is, it's crucial. You're going to see why. It's a 2 MP Pokemon, right? If I had a 3 MP Pokemon there, it would be a lot better, because I would be able to threaten a lot more stuff. I would make his Pokemon be a lot more defensive. But he does the mistake, and he threatens. He puts the Mew in an extremely amazing position for me to take, like, hey, take this free win, please. I get the stealth hit in the first roll. It's not a lack of the roll when you position your Pokemon properly and you bait stuff from the enemy. It was pretty funny. But then I went into the daily missions. I have a lot of daily missions. Sorry about the sound again. And the 10 daily missions here required me to do watch 3 featured duels. So I went ahead into the featured duels, and I started educating myself. But what I saw it's still Deoxys, and Nicholas. Oh, and we have a little bit of a switch here. We have quite a few Sceptiles going into the jungle. But as you can see here, the Virizion, or whatever you call it, Sceptile and Deoxys. And that is basically what it was yesterday. Deoxys, and Nicholas all over the featured duels. So I didn't watch much, but it made me think a little bit. What decks will be relevant in the upcoming gym? And I'm like watching like Pokefoder and Rico doing the decks, the Goon squads, and doing all the poison, and Care Bear also making poison and grass deck, and I'm like, since your guys so good with your grass and poison decks, maybe it can be better by countering you. And I went ahead and assembled. It's not original, but it's my playstyle. I assembled myself an electric deck. You're gonna be asking, yeah, but you showcased it already, right? Well, my thought process behind this is very simple. Look, I have the Pokemon, right? Jolteons run through paralyzed opponents. Electabuzz, which I pulled not too long ago, does the same thing as Jolteon does with this Thunder Punch. The only great thing about it is if it's adjacent to any other electric type Pokemon, it does plus 10 damage. So if I, theoretically speaking, put my old Pokemon in a line, 5 of them, this one included, because I think, no, only if the enemy is electric. By the way, if the enemy is electric, it is also giving you power. So it can hit pretty hard, this Electabuzz. And then my Jolteons can jump around like crazy into the enemy goal. Okay, Zapdos is just a great gold hitter. I think in this specific gym is going to be very relevant, because a lot of the enemies are going to have a lot of purple. And of course, Rayquaza, because of the super stupendous great yellow attack, and Fly. Fly could potentially be very useful. But about that Rayquaza, there is a spot for improvement and change. I want my Pokemon to be able to apply status effects, and when applied with status effects, to cycle. So I actually want my Pokemon to die in order to cleanse the whatever dumb status I may be affected with. And Rayquaza right there is just to support the defense, and maybe somebody that cuts through, like the Virizion or whatever not, gets close. I can counter them a little bit by killing them. But that is also very counterable by making my game a lot easier with the second deck. Magmortars, if you can't beat them, and if they poison you to death and you have 0 damage with Crowbutts and whatever not, you just go ahead and flame gun the shit out of them. So this is my second experimental deck in my head because it works like this. I'll have the Mew for gold. I have Zapdos, of course, for gold and not to be able to pass through. I have the Heatran just in case they rush my entry points so I can burn the hell out of them because, you know, fire burns grass, in my head at least. And then I'm going to be having 3 Magmortars. 2 of them ready to deploy and 1 after an evolution. I think it's going to be quite easy because there's going to be Phantoms and whatever not going around and Lily, whatever guys. So I'm actually hoping to get a cheeky evolution with the Magmar because Magmar, when he confuses something, if you're lucky enough to confuse something first and then kill it, you usually get the evolution pretty easy. That's going to be a pain in the ass. I'm going to think about it because I think there's a lot of 2 purple stars now on the grass and poison decks. So I will be very happy with 1 3-star purple just to take everything out. And Force Remove card. This Force Remove card is very interesting because this plate, not card. This plate can be used when you have Pokemon on all your opponent's entry points. Select one of your Pokemon on the field or bench. If that Pokemon's attack knocks a Pokemon out that turn, it will be eliminated from the duel. It is basically like Zekrom and Reshram's Fusion Flare. But what interests me the most is, anybody tested it, but does the Flame Gun that kicks out 2 people at once will remove both people from the freaking duel? That is what actually burns my head right now. Because if I can attack once and remove 2, holy freaking what? So, that is the second deck that runs through my head, which could have a little bit of a tiny twist, both of them. And that twist could be called Goodra. We all know the good old Goodra with this ability to negate status effects for your opponent's white attacks. Goon Squads, the Tentacle Barrage, if they get killed, you're not going to get poisoned. The Weezing, if he gets killed, you're not going to get poisoned. Noxious, whatever, nothing affects you if it's an asterisk on a white attack. Forget about the purples, okay? For the purples, we have ourselves the gold hitters. We have the Zapdos, we have the Greninja, I'm sorry. We have the Rayquaza, and we have the Mew. So we will probably be countering that, and the white attacks will just not apply to us. And since I am kind of a cheeky bastard, I wanted to include Liepard in this. Unfortunately, Purloin is not game. It's haven't been going well for me at all. Purloin to evolve is a pain, and it always dies. It only evolves like 1 in 10 games maybe. It's very annoying. So I decided to go straight out and have the Liepard here. Why is that? Well, Liepard is a great spot holder. It has a big dodge and a big assist. With a Rayquaza on the bench, it's basically like you're having a 2-mover, a 1-mover figurine attached to a 2-mover figurine with some terms and conditions. So that is very experimental here. I don't know about the Purloin, about the Liepard, but this is the idea behind all of whatever I'm saying right here. So I hope it makes sense to you. I didn't include the Sceptile here, even though it is a great Pokemon. I might even change the Liepard here for a Heatran, just because 2 runners, 2 beaters, and 2 defenders, with many double chances, hurdle jump, and gold block. I'm still thinking about it, but tell me what you guys think in the comments. Is this gonna work? Do you think it's gonna work? And I think Friday I have a day off, for sure. So I will try to do some room matches and maybe try all that on you. So be tuned on Twitter on Friday. I'm gonna be announcing there the times and the passwords or whatnot to enter if I don't manage to set up a live stream. So stay tuned. Friday, GMT +3, I'm guessing 11 a.m. That's going to be the time I'm going to be trying to figure everything out. So, as for the day, I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope you're having a nice day. And as always, if you're not, have a nice day.